I'm Lindsay with Ellie and Mac Sewing Patterns. Today we're going to be sewing the Jenny Crossbody Fanny Pack bag. I really love how this bag turned out. I can't wait to sew it up with you. It's adjustable. It has different strap options. You can wear it whichever direction suits you best. I kind of like trying different options. I think this feels the best to me, but you can wear it however works for you. You can have the option of a front zipper pocket. You have this main zipper, and then there's a zipper option for the inside as well. I did all three so that I could show you how each one is sewn. Another fun thing that comes with this pattern is the camera strap. So if you have a camera that you take with you to do photography or videoing, this strap will be great because you just hook it on to your bag either here or down here, and you attach this to your camera and you can just have it easy access, ready to go. That's fabulous. I love it. I think you're gonna love it too. Let's get to sewing it. So here are all the pattern pieces required to make your bag. We have our exterior pieces in the pebbled vinyl, and we have our interior pieces in this cotton woven. I have used SF101 interfacing on the back of my lining pieces because they are a thinner fabric with less structure. You can see through the interfacing that I have already drawn the outlines for my zipper placement and done that again on the other pieces. So you want to have that already done before we move forward on all of your pieces. I did not put interfacing on the wrong side of my vinyl because it's a little bit more structured. If you wanted to, that would be perfectly fine. I'll probably put a strip across the zipper welt pocket area. I already folded up my strap piece just because otherwise it looks just like this, but it's very long. So I wanted to be able to display that for you as easy as possible. We also have our bag hardware down here, and then I also have the optional camera strap hardware there that will keep your camera handy if you have one and you're using your new bag for that. Okay, well, let's get started. You want to prepare your zippers before you start so that you're just ready to move forward without waiting once you get to that step. So I am going to be making the exterior zipper, and then the extra zipper on the front, and the interior zipper pocket. So I have already cut my two zippers 8 inches and for the standard size bag, and I have already put the zipper pulls on them. However, if you have zipper tape that you are installing a zipper pull to, the way to do that is to take your zipper tape and kind of pull it apart a little. Then we're going to trim off just a smidge on one side, like this. Then you're going to take your zipper pull and you want to put it so that you're feeding this part of your zipper into the zipper tape, okay? So put it on the taller side first, and then insert the shorter side just like that. Then holding both sides, pull the zipper pull down. Now your zipper is on. Now that you have that done, you're going to sew the ends of the zippers with a few stitches just so that your zipper pulls won't come off. So we'll do that. We are going to take our standard size vinyl tab strap connector pieces, fold them right sides together, and then pin or clip would actually be better along the edge there to secure it. Okay, then we're going to go and sew an 1/8 inch edge stitch on both of those to secure them. These are our zipper tabs, and we are going to put this on our main zipper. So we're actually going to place it right sides together to the end of your zipper tape, like that. And then we will be sewing right there. Let's go do those things and we'll come back. We're going to start with our strap connector piece, and we're going to use an 1/8 inch seam allowance to edge stitch along both sides. Now I have a vinyl needle in my sewing machine. It's important to use a needle that works for the type of fabric you're using. So if you are using a thicker fabric, you might want to use a vinyl or a denim needle. If you are using thin fabric, then maybe a different needle will work for you, but just pay attention to whatever type of fabric you're using and then choose your needle accordingly. Now we can move on to our zipper. Okay, we're gonna put our little zipper tabs on our zipper, and you can go over your metal part slowly and even use the hand crank if you want. We are using a 1/4 inch seam allowance for this step. I just like to go slow and guide my machine over those metal teeth. I find that if I go slow, it's usually okay. Okay. Now we're going to top stitch. So I'm gonna actually like press that down like this. And then we're gonna top stitch right along there on each side with 1/8 of an inch edge stitch. Trim your threads and we'll move on to the next step. The next step we're going to do is to sew our zipper welt pocket on the interior pieces. So when I cut this, I didn't realize that the gridded pattern being slightly off center would make it difficult to line up my pattern pieces, but I did like find my quarters and stuff and figure out that this is already like these do line up and they are the way they should be. It looks a little like it's off center, but that's just because of the way that the pattern was when I cut it apparently. We're going to put our pocket piece on top of our interior lining piece, and the best way to do this is to put a pin through the corner, right at the corner of your welt pocket marking, and then do the same to that pocket piece. And just take your time, find that corner, because you really want it to be exact right there. And then place your pin there, all right? And that's gonna keep that in line. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other one. There we go. Okay, so now you are going to sew a straight horizontal line here and here. Do not sew along the short ends. You want to just have 2 parallel rows of stitches, and that is going to be the best way to prevent puckering and things like that. So let's go do that step and then we will come back. Now that you have your 2 rows of stitches, we're going to cut a straight line through the middle and we're going to make a Y shape here at the ends. I'm going to demonstrate that. You can also draw in that shape directly from your pattern piece if you want. If you want to do that beforehand, and then you're gonna just draw a straight line. You can use a ruler if you want, or just kind of connect those like that. Okay, if that is better for you, do that. If you've done it enough that you already know the drill, then you could probably get away with not. Up to you. I like to make a little snip just to get going. And we're gonna just snip to that first Y, and then you want to clip right to that corner, but don't clip your stitches. Okay, that's important. Okay. Now we're gonna go all the rest of the way, just like that. You're gonna just press your pocket bag all around the 4 edges, like that, and then we're gonna turn it right side out. This is my wool pressing mat. I have 4 of them I connect to make a large pressing mat, and I really like this because it makes it easy and absorbs all the steam and heat, and it protects my surfaces. Let's turn this to the wrong side now. All right. Should be able to give this a good press now. Wonderful. Now we can get our zipper tape and secure it so that we can go and sew it. I will be using double-sided zipper tape to secure the zipper to the back of my welt pocket. Okay, so I am going to just remove this. All right, when you have it where you want it, then you can just press down on your zipper so that it hooks to that. Okay, here's what it looks like on the back side. You can kind of see that sticky tape there. We placed it on the edges, and that keeps it out of these stitches. When I stitch here, I will not be catching like this tape. Okay, so we're gonna go and we're gonna edge stitch starting right here or even down here, whichever you prefer, but in the middle of one of your long parallel lines. And you're gonna sew to the end, lift your presser foot, pivot, sew down, lift your presser foot, pivot, go around, and do the same till you end up back where you began. Okay? Now that our zipper's done, we're going to place our liner with the wrong side up, and we're going to put the pocket liner on top of that. We're going to clip around so that it's secure. And this is going to be the liner that we leave a little opening to turn the bag right side out. So you'll kind of clip around, but you want to leave the bottom open enough that your hand will easily fit through. That is important because, again, that is how we're going to actually turn it out. And then stitch around, leaving an opening right there at the bottom. You can try and make sure that your hand fits. That way you'll know for sure it's the right width. Let's go sew it. All right, here's our pocket. You can see the opening left at the bottom. Check it, make sure it looks okay, unzip, make sure nothing's caught, and now we'll go to the next step. Now place that aside. Take your front piece and front zipper lining, place them right sides together, find the corners with your pins, and we're going to sew 2 parallel lines, just like we did for our last zipper welt pocket. Make sure not to sew the sides, just 2 parallel lines. Let's go. Now we're going to go and we're going to either draw and cut or cut our straight line with our Y shapes into the corners here, just like we did on the pocket zipper liner. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to press around these lines like we did. To press this pocket up on all 4 sides against this seam, and then we're going to turn the pocket all the way to the wrong side. So for now though, we're just going to do our pressing. I'm going to be very careful because of my vinyl. Just very briefly. You can also use a press cloth, or you can use a seam roller where you roll it like that. It does tend to work. I'm going to use a little double-sided tape right here up out of the seam allowance area so that I can keep the liner kind of out of my way while I'm going to get the zipper in place. This might be something you can do with this kind of tape, or you could use regular tape or clips. Now let's prepare our zipper. I'm going to use double-sided tape again and put it just along the outer edge of my zipper. This will keep it out of my stitching area and will just help it stay in place. I really like this method, and it seems to work really well, and I have been able to remove the double-sided tape when I was done, although I have been told that it's not necessary. You can use whatever you like, whatever works best for you, but this is just the method that currently I like the best. So go ahead and pull off your tape liner so that you can have it attached. The zipper pull gets stuck, so just kind of move it out of the way as much as you can, and then we'll place it. So you want to place it right sides to the wrong side of your front piece. I just kind of want to push my seams up and out of the way and give it a good finger press, and then just place it right over. Make sure you are getting it aligned just right. And then once you do get it where you want it, you can just really press down and secure that tape to the wrong side of your pocket liner. All right, that's what the back looks like. And now just sew around again and end on one of the long ends. When you're done, place your pocket liner with the right sides facing, and then pin all the way around and sew all the way around. Only sew the pocket liner, not the actual front piece. This will complete our front pocket step. Now we're going to take our exterior back piece and we're going to find the center of the top. Once you find that, you're going to mark it with a pin or clip. And then we're going to find the center of our zipper by doing it in the same way. And once you find that, you're going to place it right sides together and clip it together right where you found the center of the exterior piece. Then we're going to walk this around, clipping it as we go. Just like that. So if you see, these vinyl zipper tape pieces will hang off the sides. So you don't want to like start here, because then you'll have too much zipper tape. So those are meant to not be included. Those are meant to come off. So it goes right to that seam allowance edge. Now that you have that pinned across with your zipper vinyl pieces hanging off, we are going to take the interior lining piece and we're going to place it right sides facing the exterior piece and your right side to the wrong side of this zipper tape. You want to find that center again, and we're going to clip that right where we clipped the other. There you go. And then you can just move your clips and add in this lining piece now. We're going to do that all the way around. Okay, now we're going to go sew this together, and then we'll move to the next step. So we're going to sew from this notch all the way around to this notch. Okay. I have a zipper foot in my sewing machine. So want to line it up with your 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, and then go ahead and sew. You might need to move your zipper pull while you're going along, so keep that in mind. If you kind of get to that spot and you're like, oh, I need to move that, you can have your needle in the fabric and then open it up and just move your zipper pull as needed. Now trim your seam allowance to 1/4 of an inch. This will reduce bulk and make it easier to turn the bag right side out. Once you get all the way around, then we're going to actually clip in toward the stitches, but not through them, all the way around. Turn your bag right side out, finger press the seam, and now we're going to top stitch with an 1/8 of an inch edge stitch right along the zipper. Okay, now that we have the zipper sewn to the exterior, outer, and the lining, with our top stitching done, we are going to now place the top exterior piece right sides facing to the zipper. But first, we need to find the center. So we're gonna just do the exact same thing we did last time. Just put our center clip there, okay? Now we are going to find the center of our bag. And that is right there. Okay, just hold on to it or clip it, whichever, and then clip like that. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing when we walk this edge around. Using a lot of clips helps to keep that zipper tape where it needs to be, and it's less likely to shift. So once you have that clipped, we are going to then put on the liner. So we are going to flip our bag over to, it's actually the bag's wrong side. Okay. Now you have the right side, the wrong side. Okay, so this is the lining side. That's why we're using the lining piece. We're going to take this lining piece, we're going to find the center, just like we did with the other. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and pin it where it goes, but because I used 2 green ones, I don't know which one it was now. Goodness. Okay, so it's this one. Okay, and we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do it all the way around just like we did before. This bag is really coming along. I'm really excited to see how it turns out. But I mean, already just looking at it, it's just so cute. I'm so excited. I hope you are all loving your bags too and are excited to get to the next step. Okay, so now we're just gonna go and sew around here just like we did before. I'm gonna leave this seam allowance out that you see here. I'm gonna like make sure I pull that out of there because this is the pocket bag, so I'll probably use a piece of tape or maybe a clip or something to keep it down and out of the way, because I don't want to catch that when I'm doing my sewing. I think I'll just clip it on the sides. I think that'll kind of keep it out of the way. Like that. I just clip it like that. But like I said, you can use a piece of double-sided tape. You can just use regular tape. It's the holiday season, so you might have some wrapping tape right now. That will work. You just put some tape right there and then sew this with your zipper foot, and we will be back. So notch to notch, 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, and we'll be right back. Just like before, you're going to trim away the seam allowance to 1/4 of an inch. Careful not to trim away too much. And then we're going to clip in toward the stitches around the curve, but just be careful not to actually clip into your stitches. If you do, it's okay, just go back over and stitch the line to connect it again, but try not to do it. All right, turn it in right side out. Look at that, it is looking so good. So now we're gonna go and we're gonna top stitch the other side that we just sewed, and we're gonna use 1/8 of an inch. Now we're going to move on to the connector straps. We're going to put the strap into the D-ring and then just clip it at the end, right? Do it for the other one as well. Now we're going to put them on top of our zipper tabs. You can use a seam guide or a hem gauge, and this one I'm going to set at 1 inch because we want to place this 1 inch from the edge of our D-ring in that folded strap connector. Okay, so you're just gonna, from the edge, measure 1 inch to that D-ring's metal, okay? And we want to make sure that we clip it right there and secure it because we're going to baste the straps in place. That is exactly what that zipper tab is for. Now let's repeat that for the other side. Take your gauge again and measure the inch. Just find the right spot and clip it in place. I like to use clips, but you can use pins if you want, just whatever, or tape. And we're going to go to our sewing machine and we're going to baste right there to secure it before we move on. Okay, so this is the part that can get a little bit tricky. So I'm going to take it slow and walk you through it. The first thing you need to do is to find the center for your interior lining pieces. This is the top piece, and I'm just walking my fingers. I lined them up at that zipper seam, and I'm just walking them up to find that center. When you get that center, make a little, you can clip it if you want, but I found that it's easier if you do this method. So you just take a little chunk right there, like a little snip, keep it out of the seam allowance. So our seam allowance here is 3/8, so you want to do it up here above that. Now you can see where it is. It's easier to locate, okay? All right, now we're going to do the same thing with our exterior lining. I mean, it is our interior lining piece, but it's the bottom, interior bottom lining piece, okay? We're going to fold that together. You're going to find, and then we're going to just walk that up. Yep. And once you get there, go ahead and snip right there. I've already done it, but I'll show you like that. Okay, and that gives you that little snip. Now, make sure this zipper, this exterior zipper, and your interior pocket zipper are unzipped. We need those unzipped to be able to turn it right side out. We're going to find our notch like that. We're going to clip it. Okay. And then we are going to walk this down, just matching those seam allowances as we go. Sometimes those clips get away from me. All right, we are getting there. Okay, I'll go the other way. Just like that. Now we're going to do the exterior. You're going to find the center notch, just like we did with the liner, for the top and the bottom piece. Going to align those. And then walk them up, just like we did on the other. Make sure that D-ring is out of the way. And you're going to clip just right up to that D-ring connector strap, and then go the other way. Just like that. Okay, now this is where it's kind of weird, but if you did the interior pocket, you can just kind of like, the extra exterior pocket, just kind of roll that down. But we want to actually now clip this exterior to the lining. We want to leave this out because this is the pocket where we're going to turn it right side out. Okay, so we want to make sure that stays out of our clips. So we want to find that notch, right? We want to connect these two notched pieces right where they're both notched. Okay, and then we're just gonna do this where we just move the clips. Just want to make sure you're keeping your pocket bag out of that seam. You can remove clips you don't need. Okay, just like that, right to that line. And it's okay that these stick out. We're gonna cut them off after. Just helps keep them there where we need them for sewing. Okay, remember to stuff that pocket bag out of the way. So we do not want to catch that. Okay, this will be 4 layers of fabric, so the lining piece being a little bit thinner could serve you well here. All right, just like that. Great, we got it. Okay, so that took me a few times, but don't worry. If you need to do it, like unclip it and clip it again, just go ahead and do that. Watch the video several times and see, maybe what you were doing wrong if you keep getting confused. It was a little confusing, but I got it. And I know you can too. So we want to make sure this stays clear of our sewing because we want to, we don't want to ruin it, and we need to turn our bag out through it. We are going to go and sew with a 3/8 inch or 1 centimeter seam allowance around here, and then we will move on. Right, we are coming to the end. So after you have sewn around this edge, trimmed your seam to a 1/4 inch, and then clipped your towards your seam, but not through the stitches, all the way around, it's time to turn it right side out. And we're gonna do that by going through this opening we left in the zipper pocket. You're just gonna kind of start pulling your pieces through this hole carefully, because you don't want to rip your pocket. You can use your fingers to kind of push against those seams. You can use a nice blunt object to push against those seams and really just pop out that edge there. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so now I'm gonna open my zipper pocket here and just kind of use my hands to push down the lining and kind of get it all situated. Finger press along these seams. Okay, and then, as cute as that is, all right, we need to sew this hole closed that we left for our turning in the pocket. So you're gonna press down 3/8 of an inch here. Okay, and then going to sew it just right along the edge. So we're just going to edge stitch. So I usually just clip this. You can definitely get your iron out and press this and make sure it's exact if you want. For me, it's a pocket liner, so I just kind of make sure it looks like I have the right seam allowance here. And then I just clip around and I'm going to edge stitch this. Now you do whatever you prefer, whatever you like best. And then we will just go and we're just going to stitch just right there. And then we'll press that to the wrong side, and then we can move on to our strap. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is work on our strap and camera strap. So when you are done with this current step, your strap and camera strap will look like this. Okay, it's clipped along one edge. It's nice and long, but I'll show you how to do it with this camera strap because it's shorter. So you are going to press this in half. You can use a steam cloth and press if your fabric or vinyl will allow it. You can also finger press the center seam if you want. And then you can see this line here. Now if you want, you could like run a marker down this seam that we created. Just like that, following that fold. You could do a chalk line. You can put double-sided tape here, and then when you fold it in, the double-sided tape will hold it. Okay. It's just up to you, like, which method you prefer. I kind of like to do this in stages, so I kind of just press it like this. And then I press it again like that, and then I clip it. Okay, and then I just keep getting that lined up, and then folding. And then clip it. If you are not using vinyl, then you will want to press your fabric in half like this. Then you'll want to press these short ends in like this. And you'll just follow all of the steps that are in the tutorial for the non vinyl strap option because they're just slightly different. Okay, now we are going to go sew using an edge stitch both sides of these long sides, okay, on both the camera strap and the strap. Then we'll come back and add some hardware. So we have our strap sewn. All right, then we are going to put on our slide. So you go up from the bottom, over the middle bar, and then down and under the top one, like that. Okay. If you used webbing, you will fold this under 1.5 inches, and then just like that, you're gonna sew a 1-inch box on your webbing to secure this. Now, if it's vinyl, I'm gonna slide this guy down. All right, we're just gonna need it to be 1 inch from this. So, put this guy on the end. We're gonna put our rivet right here. So I'm just gonna put a little mark because my rivet will cover it. All right. Okay. So we're gonna install our rivet there, and then we are going to get our, swivel hook, and we are going to put it, this is facing up, we're going to put this facing down. So we're going to go to the other end of the strap, leave your strap facing up so you know. And then with the hook facing down, we're going to insert our strap into that, into the swivel hook. Now you want to take, with this down and this up, I'm going to take, we're going to go up through the slider, just like that, and pull some through, and then we're going to go back down through the other end of the slider, just like that. This is going to make the adjustable part of our strap. If you want to make it wider or shorter, you can just feed the strap through it by pressing some of the strap up into the middle and then pulling it on the other side down. Either way, depending on if you want more or less strap. It's looking really good. I'm excited. All right, so trim away any strings. Make sure that it's looking nice. And then we'll move on to the next part of our strap. Okay, with the slider up, I'm going to take the other end, and we're going to this time put the swivel hook facing up toward us and just slide it down. So they should both be right sides up. Fold over so that you have 1 inch past your slider. And we're going to make a mark for putting in our rivets. If you're going to sew, you can just create a rectangle box with an X in it to secure. But since I'm putting in rivets, I am measuring and doing that way. Now we can get those rivets in. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. I'll show you how to do the rivets in the next step, but I went ahead and put it in for this. Attach your straps. What do you think? Oh my goodness, I love this. I can't wait to try it on and see how it works. Just gonna adjust it a little so that it'll fit me a little better, and yeah, I think it looks good. Now let's work on the camera strap. If you're using the camera strap, you're going to have sewn it like the strap. I'm going to slide a swivel hook onto the strap and then fold over so that we have 7 inches past the metal of the swivel hook. Then you're going to take a locking swivel hook with a camera attachment, and we're going to slide that on the other end, the longer end, with it facing down. It has this cool camera attachment, and you will actually like slide it on here, and then you're going to just screw that so that it locks, and this will keep your camera attached securely. Now place that in, and then fold over the edge. Just bring it right up to where the 7 inches was and fold it over. And then you can either sew the rectangle with the X to secure it, or you can add rivets like I'm going to do. You measure up 3/4 of an inch, make a marking, and then measure up another 3/4 of an inch and make another marking. I'm going to do that on all the layers so that when I'm punching my hole with the hole cutter die, I know where on every layer to do it. So just use your ruler and one of your marking pens or chalk and mark it. I sometimes like to just kind of lift it up after I do this step. Just to kind of know that like I have it where I want it. So lift it up carefully, keeping your finger where that marking is, and just mark right there. It works pretty well for me. You can do it however you enjoy doing this process, but I have found this works pretty well. Alright, now we're going to cut holes so that we can put in our rivets. I use the Kamsnaps press for this. You can use a hand press, or you could just buy the kit at one of your sewing stores that has the die, and you just use a hammer or a mallet, and you can just follow the instructions on the package and do it that way. But if you're going to be making a lot of bags, then I suggest investing in either a hand or a stand press, because it is so quick and efficient. So I'm going to place my cutting die into the machine, or into the snap press, and then I'm going to line up my strap with the dot right in the center so that when I press down the cutting die, it cuts a hole right where I need it. When you have your holes cut, it's time to put in your rivets. They should have a stem piece for your rivet, and that's what's going to go in all of these holes that you line up. Okay, so take it, and it's kind of thick, so you want to just kind of press it in really well. Line it up, and then just press that stem through. Okay, and then through the next layer, and then the final layer. And then you can just use your fingers to kind of squish it all together so that it's really nice and secure in there. And then you're going to put on the cap part of your rivet once you have that done. And just pop that on there. And then we'll just switch out our dies so that we have the right one. We'll need to put the rivet die in. It's pretty quick and fast to switch the dies on this press, which I love. Alright, so we'll just put in the bottom adapter piece, and then we'll twist in the top rivet piece. Alright. Okay, then just line up your rivet inside of the bottom adapter piece, and then once you have it in there, you just press. And there you go. It's pretty cool, huh? Now we're going to do the final one here. And once you've got the first one done, it's pretty easy because you know what you needed to do. So just press it really well, pop on the cap, and then give it a good press. I feel like the rivets make it look really professional. I really love the look that that has. All right, now that you've got that done, you could attach your camera and give it a try. Hook this to the strap of your bag. I love that this has this ability to take your camera with you. And I'm pretty sure if you think about it, you could think of lots of things you could use this strap for that are beyond a camera. Let me know what you would use it for. Here's how the bag turned out. I love it. How cool is this? I love that you can take this camera strap off if you want. You don't need it if you don't need it, but it's cool if you do. I'm excited to try it with my camera. I love that it's just quick and easy. You just unzip, put in your phone, your lip glosses, maybe your debit card, credit card, and you are ready to go. Perfect for just short runs out doing errands, maybe going to the gym. This would be so easy to take with you, but I think it turned out great. I hope you had fun sewing with me today. I really enjoyed our time together. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see us make next. I'll see you again soon for our next bag tutorial.